Today's lesson is about the action figure in motion. So we're looking at this figure here, and it's the complete action of pitching, as you can see. So I'll sketch him in and try to show some of the things that we might look for. Okay, first of all, just try and establish his head. So very briefly, what we might look at will be that space in there. Try and make your space as close to that space as you can when you're looking at an image. I'm not wanting to go into any detail at the moment. Might be over just a bit too far. We'll fix that later. I'll get this part of the head in, and you can see it's going at an angle. And if we look at that little notch there, we can see that the chin is below that. It's about here. Maybe a little bit wider. Okay, and we've got his ear just in here. That's all I want for the head at the moment, just that basic shape. Just take that out so it's not confusing for you. Detail at this stage. Okay, so this point here comes out to just past his head. Just about so, and it comes up just under his chin, and it's an ellipse, and the same for around his neck there. And his neck will just fit in there. Good, so now we've got this arm just coming out from under the cap, just about here on his head, and it comes up. We'll just draw it in one line, if you like. Okay, so here we're talking about line of action. So bring that line right down here like so, and it comes out to about there, and then it turns and comes this way. Okay, so there's a pretty straightforward line of action. Now let's look at his other arm. First of all, we'll just establish that point there, and it comes up about this far from his head, as you can see. About there, bring that down, slight angle this way, and comes down to about that point. And we'll find this one as well. Just go straight up, and it's at the just the side of his head there. So we've got that more or less in the right position. Let's look at these drapery lines here, and they're implying to go up that way. Okay, so there's a nice drapery line just there as well. This might be ever so slightly out, just there. Right, now we want to look at this other arm, and it comes from there, comes across the center line there, and just stops at that point. Elbow is just in there, and it comes down and through there. Okay, so his mitt is here, and it comes over to about here. This might be overdone just a bit. Just generally don't want to really go into too much detail, but we're just trying to get everything to fit in place. Now there's something that I can see already, and that's this is here, and what's happening nicely, and you'll see, I'll show it to you in a minute. That's another thing that we're looking for when we're drawing, and that's letters of the alphabet. So there's a nice stretched out C for you. And that sort of thing is really useful. Okay, just suggest his hand at that stage. Right, okay, so this tucks in quite a bit here. It's coming out and it's going up to that sleeve like so. If I take a line through there, you can see how far down it is, so we can get the width of that quite easily. Right, so now we want to get this leg that's facing us, and comes out about so. Let's exaggerate that a little bit more, just going up there, and it seems to go like that behind. Okay, so we've got this shoulder too, by the way, is way over here. Okay, so now let's look at the legs. This is probably a little bit more vertical, that part there, the leg furthest away. We've got a nice triangle just there we can look for, and this leg is coming out, and just below that mitt it starts to change direction, and we can see a bit of it here as well. So follow through in there, look for that space in there. So that foot just goes across and just barely goes past there and just slims down quite a bit and joins up to the shoe. Notice how that heel comes back and just goes forward a bit there. So look at the distances here, look at the distance there. Okay, nearly done. Okay, this leg here just goes up, and here's, I can see already another letter of the alphabet. We've got an A. So try to, when you see a shape, try to simplify it into letters of the alphabet, or whatever you might be thinking of. Right, now this shoe is that far above, or if we look at it the other way, it's about there. So if that's it's about here, and it's way over near this line. And I want to explain a little thing to you as well, that when you've got this grid in your head and you don't need to use grids anymore, you just use the frame. So you look how far something is from the frame, and you picture the midline going this way, and a midline going that way as well helps. Look how far that might be from that frame. So you don't need to use a grid all the time. You can definitely do without it after you've practiced a lot. Okay, I'm looking at that space in there too, and trying to just duplicate that space. Maybe goes up there. and this foot goes at a slight angle, and as we established, it's coming to about here, and this goes in there like so. Okay, so we've got a nice arrangement here. Okay, I'm going to take the grid lines out now. Okay, so there's my little introduction to the idea of motion, how we can add motion to an action figure and try to get using the line of action method, and try to use the idea of blurring, if you like, and no detail. We don't want detail on this in this sort of image. If you do too much detail, imagine a speeding train. You can't see what's happening. So don't do any detail in when you're trying to achieve this. So I'm hoping that this was helpful to you, and if it was, please support the channel by subscribing. So thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully.